Assignment 2 is the infographic evidence-based practice guide that includes a selection of your evidence-based practice or evidence-based resources that you'll be using for your project and a short summary of each of those references. So this is the second assignment related to your infographic final project. This assignment is worth 50 points. And you can see, we'll talk about in a minute, how you can accumulate all of those points. So before you complete and submit your assignment, I want you to just understand what it is I'm looking for. So for this assignment, you are going to submit a list of at least or of 8 references, okay? The 8 references will be graded, again, by the following rubric. For your final project, you might be using more than 8 references, right? So maybe as you've been searching the past couple weeks, you found maybe 10 or 12 or, things that you might potentially use, but you're not quite sure yet. That's fine. If you want to include them on this assignment, you can, just so you have all of your citations in the same spot. At the end of this, like your infographic final project, you will have to submit a list of all of your references. So again, if you want it all just in one spot, you can submit as many as you want for this assignment, but just know that we will only be grading 8. So if you provide 10 or 12 or whatever, that's fine. But just know that those additional ones won't be graded and you won't be assigned extra points for doing them. The other big point to note here is that at least 5 of those 8 references that you submit for this assignment need to be from a scholarly journal. Okay, so make sure that you have that. You can use additional resources. There's a lot of great stuff out there. So the Brain Injury Association of America has great resources. ASHA has great resources, Brainline, the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins. So you'll find a lot of other reputable organizations and websites that have great info on traumatic brain injury. You can use those, but they have to be beyond the 5 scholarly articles that you are using. Okay. If you do use an organization or a public page from even like the CDC or the World Health Organization, you can do that. But remember that you need to be using the APA guidelines. So don't just copy and paste a hyperlink of the public page on ASHA that you saw. Make sure you're using APA formatting when you reference those websites. And then speaking of APA formatting, I have one link here to the Purdue Online Writing Lab. This just takes you to a guide of what APA is. I'm sure you're all very familiar with APA at this point in your career. So you can use that as a resource if you want. It also links you to Citation Machine. So if you want to use that as a place to, put in the info and get your APA resource, you can do that. You might have another website that you like to use. That's great. ChatGPT can also be a resource for APA formatting. I would just be sure to check the final product. So it might spit something out, but I would just double check to make sure that it's correct. ChatGPT isn't the strongest with references sometimes, and it might have inaccuracies in years or in authors. So just make sure you check it if you're using ChatGPT. Okay, so to receive full credit, so each reference, again, you're submitting 8, will be worth 5 points. So that gives you 40 potential points for the actual references themselves. If the reference is presented in correct APA format, you get 1 point for that. And then the next 4 points are summary and discussion. So you'll give me a couple sentences about the main findings or information that you gathered from that article or resource for 2 points. And then you'll do another couple sentences describing why you chose that article or resource. So was there a specific point in it or a specific research topic or study that they were doing that interested you? Was it their main findings that interested you? Was it some of the obstacles, like the areas for future research? Maybe the points that they made in the article there is something that you thought was important to include. So you'll do that. So each one is 5 points, and you can gather 40 points there. And then the last part will be a short paragraph describing gaps in research on this topic or areas of particular interest. So maybe now that you've been researching, now that you've been looking for sources, you're getting more into your topic, and maybe now you've even pivoted your question a little bit, or you've pivoted your audience even, based on the information that you found. Maybe it's led you to a different spot or a particular area of interest that you really want to zone in on for your final project. So that will be for the last 10 points. And then just like with assignment 1, there is a rubric here, so you can look through and see a detailed description of how to gain points on this assignment. All right, and as with everything else, just let me know if you have questions. All right,